I do not own any of these creepypastas that I am about to read you. I repeat, I do not own any of the creepypastas I am about to read you. This is the second video of these. I'll probably be doing 2 or 3. Okay. Children hear stories of the boy that comes to your window and takes you off to Neverland, where you will never grow old. But as everyone knows, Peter Pan is not real. However, when the boy with red hair arrives at her window, both she and her brother happily follow him to the land of youth. Her Peter Pan has finally come. She wakes up surrounded by plants and flowers, the boy smiling down at her. Time passes, a year passes. She watches the young boy fight off pirates. One day, the captain catches her. She gasps. He hushes her. "He's not what you think," he says, in a hushed voice, before the boy grabs her quickly and takes her back with him. She awoke to a scream. That night, she saw the boy bashing her brother's head in with a large stone. "You're getting too old," he yells angrily, with a final bash to the head, ending her brother's life. The girl runs. The captain grabs her hastily. He's been waiting for her. He explains everything, that the boy is not Peter Pan. He steals children from their families, and when they get too old, he murders them in cold blood. The captain was one of those children, but he escaped long ago. If you're reading this, you've been in a coma for almost 20 years. We're trying a new technique. We don't know where this message will end up in your dream, but we hope we're getting through. Please, wake up. There once was an old woman who lived all alone. Her only companion was her beloved, kind, sweet canine friend. Every single night, her dog would curl up in his warm, cozy purple basket beside his master's bed where he slept. And every night, the dog would lick the old woman's hand to say goodnight. The dog and the old woman had a special bond that they both treasured very much. Nothing could come between them. One night, she woke up with a jerk. Silence greeted her, but then, drip, 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 sound coming from somewhere in her big, old wooden house. She got up out of bed, crankily, and walked into the kitchen. She quickly tightened the tap and sighed. She made her way back to her bed and sat down on her bedside and pulled her feet up onto the bed. Her dog licked her hand goodnight, as always, and she slowly drifted back to sleep. Another hour later, she woke up, very angry and annoyed. And once again, she heard the constant drip, drip, drip sound. She got out of bed again. She muttered to herself. This time she walked into the bathroom and groaned and tightened the tap. She again sighed. She was old and tired, and this wasn't helping. After feeling that this time she had done the trick, she stumbled back into bed. Exhausted and tired from the lack of sleep, but relieved a comforting lick on the hand, and soon went to sleep. The warm rays of sun sprouted through her window. She was blinded by a light. She quickly covered her eyes. She yawned and made her way to the bathroom. "I really need a shower," she told herself, pulling the shower curtain aside. What she saw gripped her with fear and tore at her heart. Her heart shattered. Tears were falling freely from her eyes. Her dog was hanging from a hook nailed to the roof of the shower, his tail tied to the knot from the hook. blood was still going. Drip, drip, drip. She covered her mouth and sobbed in horror and fear as she read the passage written in blood. Humans can lick too. In the dark of night, I would advise you not to look out your window. When you look out dark windows, you see everything you have ever feared and everything you have ever dreaded. The impossible is possible and exists within the dark void. Nothing can be seen, but everything can be imagined. Ridiculous and surreal faces that look as if they know your deepest, darkest secrets. Decaying heads of the damned that moan and grunt, and all your greatest fears do, in fact, exist out there. But don't worry, you're safe. It is merely a window. You can only see them, but they can't get into your dimension. But there is one thing. You are vulnerable out in the open. What do you mean, you may ask? Your reflection. It allows you to coexist with them. Just don't